Hello, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka, I'm an empath, and I just like to do these little daily talks on how I see things. And I tell you what, man, mm, I'm just gonna allow myself to be content, and you know, it's okay to feel some joy and some bliss and some good stuff. I'm always extra cautious because I believe in minding the dip, and because I believe in minding the dip, I try not to get too overly excited about things because, like in a heartbeat, an electric pulse, which we all have, it goes up, woo, and then after it goes down below the baseline. So it's that dip that people don't compensate for. That's why people have emotional hangovers. You ever get in a fight or have an extremely stressful day, and the next day you feel like you got hit by a bus? That's your energetic field calibrating in the dip. And it can be a negative or positive, it doesn't matter. you know there's always a dip, in the spectrum. So I always try and mind the dip, and because I notice that the more I get excited about things, it's me tying an outcome to the result, and if I leave the end result open, it's just better for everybody, because I believe in an multi universe. All things are possible, and so that that can leave a lot of error for room for error. Let's just say that. So don't try not to. I mean, it's important to have and right now, in the era and the time of freaking crazy manifestation, we create our reality. So be really careful about what you're thinking about, and what you're looking at. And if you've always been, if you had these like I used to lay awake at night. We live below Mount Shasta, and I used to lay awake and I just freaking panic ridden, just because, like, if the car broke down, how would we escape the river of molten lava? And later it come found out that these are past life memory regret, that I had it, my spirit had those experiences, and so those fears were so traumatic it carried over into this incarnation, you know and so, maybe I did experience Mount Shasta erupting at a previous time, in a different incarnation, and I believe that's the one thing that I think a lot of spiritual type people are missing out on, is the latitude and longitude of things, where we end up vibrationally. So our spirits incarnate. We all, it's like, you ever go to the East Coast, like there was a girl who used to do YouTube videos, just anymore. It's been months, when they just, people come in and out, dip in and out of your radar, and it was like I recognized a lot of myself in her, and things, and when I looked at where she lived, it was I always have a plus or minus 2 rule, latitude, longitude, and it was in that plus or minus 2 degrees of where I lived, or where I have had lived, like growing up. And other people that you're in line with, like there's a director, I use his example. Uh, he did a lot of shows, and again, latitude, the latitude was similar, and it goes for longitude too, because like attracts like. But at any point, the more people are in it, it's gonna, because the vibrational frequency in them, if you let the dark win, and more people let the dark win in this area, well, then it's going to be a dark area. And it's in every paradigm. It's not just in cities and in towns and townships and things like that. It's in people individually, and it's playing out on the world stage, like the mega church, dude. Anyone that has a mega church, you're too much ego anyway. You ain't there. I don't see any spirit at all in there, you know. And all the consequences that are coming out. God, jeez, man, people are just really being seen for who they are. That cop, 24 cop on the force, dude makes freaking $230,000 a year. When people make that much money, they're all ego. There ain't no spirit left, because you can't have it. It's not. It ain't how it is. And you look at that cop, and all the dude did was go say, like, "Hey, dude, your arrest methods are a little extreme," and then the guy chased him down and freaking you know, sought out for an altercation with the guy, just, and all he was saying was like, that's a little much, you know. But his ego couldn't handle it, and you know, and that's what you need to do. How much are you paying these? You're paying for ego, and you're not paying for spirit, you know. So you get what you get, right? All these companies that are just all about the profits, you know, you're all gonna freaking fail. You are. Look at all the big businesses. People are, you know, all the medicinal, all the medicines, all the articles about, you know, dandelion root and you know, all the nature's way. Cooperation is nature's way, and all that stuff that big pharma and all the people that wanted to, you know, profit from, benefit from, you know, like by poisoning people, all the doctors that are getting found out because you'd rather make money and you're literally poisoning people and killing people. Come on, Beanie. Come on in, Beanie. Artie, stop being staunchy. Good boy, Beanie. Come on, good boy. It's all coming out. It's all coming out because it's the great imbalance. It's the great imbalance of the world. More people are coming into their spirit, and it's good. You know, this. I'm not talking. I don't. Not all rich people are bad and evil. I'm just saying that. I kind of. Part of me is, but I know that it's not all the way true. What I am saying is, they're void without spirit. Their spirit has been replaced by ego. It's Psych 101. Yeah. So, it's alright that all the stuff, and this is the important part, I think, and what I do is, when somebody does something wrong to me, I do like a full body scan. I remember everything about them, you know, that, and if they do it, the more they, it's like, I remember how they dressed, you know, what are their favorite kind of shoes, the kind of, I put it all into account, and it puts up a profile of the person to me. And then so when I meet somebody that like, even like wears the same perfume or cologne that reminds me of that person, that's a red flag. Yeah, that's how we can listen to ourselves, and people aren't listening to themselves. People are compromising themselves every single day. They're ignoring their own inner knowing for what, you know? And the more you do, you know, and it goes with the energy stuff, with the you know, there's signs and symptoms of different chakras that are being neglected. And I read an article today. I just read them, you know, and if it resonates with me, if it makes sense to me, okay, that's a reality, that's a possibility that could exist, you know. But we can never determine for sure if in reality is 100%, because there's too many other people involved, and they're not full on board, so they're not necessarily giving us all the information we need to do what's best for us. So all we can do is take what we have and make the best of it, you know? You know? There's a lot of places to go in the world, and there's, God, wouldn't it be more fun if there's more people to take with you? Today, there's the potential that exists that I get to meet a man that I respect him, you know? He's got his own point of view in the way, and he's taught me a lot, and he's opened my eye, you know, and I might not agree with him all the way, but he is open, giving me ideas that I can build on, you know. And those are the people. I don't want to just take ideas and, you know, that's why I hated school. I was never good at it, because I never just took people at face value. This is because you say it is. I'm sure there's other people that say it's not that way, but, you know, that's why I hated math, because I always came up with the right answer, but because I didn't do it their way, I was wrong? That doesn't even make sense to me. Anyway, the potential exists. I get to meet Dennis Ingelston today. Yeah. So, he's the traveling tarot. Don't know that I'll have a reading done, but I'm going to give him my own kind of reading. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have a pleasant conversation, and hopefully I'll have more to report on that. So, Mom's still asleep, man. It's like overcast. It feels like freaking fall here, and it's the first week of June. I'm not complaining, because there's other parts of the country that are really going to get really freaking hot and humid and stuff, you know, and I don't like humid. I don't like the humidity, you know. I don't think people should. And isn't it weird that, you know, people that are asthmatics is, you know, it's like, how can you live in high humidity places? You're freaking breathing freaking water. What are you, a fish? No, you're not a fish. No wonder you have a hard time breathing. But anyway, just keep going to the doctor and taking all those pills and stuffing all those feelings and stuff like that. You know, oh, the heart chakra one I was talking about though. You know, when the heart chakra is imbalanced and it's not flowing the way it should, you could have problems with relationships with people. You know, get hurt a lot, you close down to them, you're really guarded. Um, Paranoia, that's another one. You know, because when you believe in yourself and you're well balanced, you don't have anything to be afraid of. You know, caution is one thing, but fear is an entirely different vibration. And you know, people are telling themselves that they're freaking fearful, so things are happening that are drawing attention to themselves to fear. Like when I was a kid, you know. So like, don't think about, you know, if you have worries, don't think about them, because thinking about them is making you fearful, which in turns draws more things into your life to make you afraid. So have some belief in yourself. You know, if you're still on the planet, you're still supposed to be here for a reason. You know, we're all good and bad examples. It just depends on the day people are watching. So that's about all I got for today. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.